Let's go.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. A special good evening to all our fellow dancers and artists and culture. Welcome back to SOCA TV. I know that we have been off the air for a while, but we are here tonight for a special reason. And the reason why we have not been, functioning on the air is because we have been functioning off air. We have been organizing and putting out some programs for young dancers in particular. We had some seminars for young male dancers. We had for female dancers. We even have some activities for adults, who wanted to keep up their talents. So we have been organizing other programs to help our fraternity outside of the screen space. This evening, we are, somewhat in a somber mood, but we intend to make it celebratory. Tonight, guys, we are going to celebrate the life of Leah Gordon. She is one of the most fantastic dancers in Trinidad and Tobago. And we have a lot of persons who will be testifying to that tonight. Leah is a dancer who has passed recently. I know a lot of us would have heard it in the news. And we are here to join with all our dance community to celebrate her life.
I remember the first time I saw Leah, it was at the El Socorro Best Village Group. Leah was one of the strongest female dancers I've seen around Trinidad for a very long time. She danced with the El Socorro group, people like Mervyn Francis and Glenn. But most of these guys left El Socorro and went on to, Glenn went to Malik, and Mervyn Francis and Leah Gordon came to Barataria. And what a joy they brought to Barataria. Mervyn Francis actually won the best male dancer, and Leah, on umpteen times, many times, won the best female, best all-round performer, best actress. She have won every single prize you could think about in the Best Village arena. But this night is not to talk about Best Village alone. Leah has been around a lot of circles. And we dedicate this night a special night to celebrate the life of this grand dame of dance. Um, I would like to start with saying to a sister so loving, so caring and true, to my dear sister, this one is from me to you. As we have grown up through our childhood years, the fun and laughter I can always chase. The things we've done created memories forever and kept us strong even when we couldn't be together. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, in celebration of Leah Gordon.
We have some wonderful videos of Leah here tonight. Enjoy. I hope you guys are seeing our video. Okay, just apologize on our behalf. Yeah.
Let me pause it. I'll continue. No, go.
Very low audio.
Right. No, that's bad. Go ahead.
Just cut it off. But guys, we want to apologize. We saw some comments coming in that the audio is very low, or some of you all were not hearing at all. We do apologize for that. But that was one of the videos that we received that that shows Leah in her essence.
Yes, it was a video of a dance done by one of the great from the Hummingbird Dance Company, Mr. Cyril St. Louis, the great Cyril St. Louis. He was a school teacher, dance choreographer par excellence. He traveled, he took his company, the Hummingbird Dance Company, all the way to Rome and Italy. And he was a great choreographer. And that was his dance. And it was done in 1991 with the National Dance Company of Trinidad and Tobago. So,
well, up next, we want to invite a person who I think started Leah off in dance. We want to invite on screen Miss Marva Julian to talk a little bit about her experience with Leah. So let's welcome on screen Marva Julian.
Circumstances that we were meeting. But as you say, we're here to celebrate Leah, and I was going down memory lane. Leah and I met on the bus going to school. She would take the bus from Mova, and I would pick up the bus in Barataria. And the first few times I saw Leah in the bus, I thought of a mother hen, the way she was hovering over her brother and sister. She was very protective of them. And we would just chat casually. She would stop off in Sanwo. They went Sanwo government, and I would go on to Mount Lambert. Then a few years later, we passed common entrance to the same school, St. George's College. And there we quickly became friends. She shared a lot of her life with me. And we were supposed to do a concert, and I invited her to be part of the concert, dancing. Well, that was it. No stopping Leah from then on. I mean, there were like 8 of us on the stage, but nobody saw the rest of us. Everybody saw Leah. Before that, in school, she was taller than everybody else. We were all little midgets kind of thing. And how cruel we could be. The kids would tease her because of her height, But that day at that concert, that was the end of it. People saw the power and the majesty of Leah Gordon. Those kids, those young boys in school with their short khaki pants were in awe of Leah from then on. No more teasing. Everybody looked up to Leah. And Leah's personality, she was so kind, but she could tease, she would give as good as she gets, but she was kind-hearted and warm and passionate. And I want to tell a little story about Leah. I had disobeyed my parents, let's say. And we had a school bazaar. We all planned. Now, I lived just across the road from the school, so my house was the house where everybody would meet. And we all planned. They came to meet me. And as I was leaving, and I told my dad, I said, bye. He said, where you going? You're not going anywhere. When your mother talks to you, you will obey her. And needless to say, I was so embarrassed because my friends were there, and they were leaving, and Leah came back, and she said, I'm going to stay with you. And I said, no, go ahead and have fun. I'll be all right. And it was like 2 hours into the bazaar, Leah came back. She came back to stay with me. she was willing to give up her time enjoying herself at the concert to stay with me because she felt bad for me. That is the kind of heart that Leah had. And, you know, she went on in life. Then she came and she joined El Socorro and then Barataria. And that was it. She blossomed. Astor Johnson, you name it, she did it. She acted, you know, and she put, you know, she had some broken hearts and she turned that into her art form. She put all her brokenness into her art form and made it a passion. And she gave everything she had into her art form. And seeing Leah on stage is like, it was just pure beauty. And she found her joy. She found her joy when she was on the stage. And she gave to her nieces and nephew everything that she had. And that was Leah, you know, so selfless. And she wanted to protect, especially women. And later in years, we met up again, and she was doing her master's on her jamet. And when we were finished, Leah convinced me that I was a jamet, something that, you know, we grew up never wanting to be. But after that, I was proud to raise my chest and say I'm a jamet. You know, that was Leah. That was Leah. You know, our school, our George's class, we got back together and had a WhatsApp chat. And Leah, needless to say, she was the live wire. She had everybody going. She would put things together. We had reunions. She would be there organizing everything. And it was just, you know, a joy to see her do those things and be alive and you know, compassionate and caring and just a wonderful person. And that's how I will remember her. That's what I will keep, and that's what I would want everybody to remember about Leah, that she was majesty. She was woman and jamet in all its glory. That was Leah for me. Thanks.
Thank you so much for sharing.
By the way, Marva Julian Joseph, people, she was one of the dancers in Barataria the years when they used to give Mon Diablo all the competition in dance. She was one of the frontline dancers. I remember you, Marva, dancing in the that was the coat of arms dance. You were
Yes.
water. You was water.
I was water. Oh, you remember well, yeah.
Like,
Yes.
I was a little boy and
yeah.
I just watching them go like, wow, she looks like the water. Yeah, that was excellent. It's a pleasure to have you tonight to give your celebrating the life of Leah and in the best way you know how.
Thanks for having me. I wasn't sure I would be able to go through this, but yeah, it's tough. It's a
really
tough time.
But
Thanks.
Fortunately, this is not her funeral. This is her celebration. So we're all going to be happy about it because she left happy memories behind.
Right, exactly.
With all of us.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night, and make sure and, you know, tune into the rest of the show because we have a lot more people who would want to share their experience.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Okay. And guys, we'd like all our viewers to tag other people, and make sure and share the link to SOCA TV so that we can all join in this celebration of Leah Gordon's life. And I would like to say to Leah, you were always there to lend a listening hand, a listening ear, and have always shown how much you care. Oftentimes, I think of you more like a mother. So my dear sister, I wouldn't trade you for another. So guys, I want to, at this time, invite, we have a lot of people in our waiting room. We want to invite Mr. Alan Balfour. We want to invite Alan to come and share his memories with us. And of course, we have a video that we'd want to show.
Hi, Alan.
Good night, Mr. Balfour.
Hi.
I know you're very busy. Thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule to share in this celebration of Leah's life. So, Alan, let us hear a little about how Leah impacted on your life.
Well, thank you very much, Gregory and Mindy and team for having SOCA TV team for having me on. Want to say congratulations to you guys for doing this amazing initiative. SOCA TV are now something that is so meaningful to celebrate dance and celebrate the life of Leah. Leah Gordon, she is one of those people who, when I first got into dance, and I was lucky enough to get into the Astor Johnson Repertory Dance Theatre about a year after I started training, that really captivated me. As with everyone, I'm not going to say anything that is probably different to what people have experienced. But she was a natural principal dancer. I spent many years in Astor Johnson with Leah there, and she was a natural principal, and that is something that you can't really develop. It's something that you are born with, as far as I'm concerned. Astor and all the choreographers would go to her first, for certain dances, and some of us in the chorus, we used to have this joke like, okay, when Leah's on stage, you have to catch up with her, because she doesn't look backwards to see what's happening. She is just driving forward. Martha mentioned her passion and stuff, and how she would take life experiences and really bring it into the art form. Oh my goodness. So as a performer, she was just amazing, captivating. She could just stand up. I remember in dances like Imanja, she had a quarter turn, a three-quarter turn to do that would transition from one section to another. And the way she would just tilt her eyes first before she starts turning the rest of her body, that was just magical and amazing. She could do those small movements and just captivate an entire audience. And the thing is that people like her, she would pull the rest of the dance forward. So if it's almost like if she had a bad night, the piece itself wouldn't go great, because she was a true principal to lead the entire piece forward. Yeah, but she never really had a bad night,
Yes.
But more importantly, as a friend, Leah, myself, Gail Salazar, and another dancer, we were a little quartet for a while in terms of linemen and growing up as friends. So Leah was extremely dear to my heart, especially in those days of dance. She was the most witty comedian ever. In terms of extempo, I mean, she could extempo. Sorry, Mindy, you were saying something?
Okay, he's back. Oh, no, go ahead. We won't see you for a bit, but we're hearing you now. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you could never compete with Leah when it comes to extempo comedy. So we would have these sessions where she would just, take an object, it could be a calabash, and she would just go on about the calabash and make a whole exposition about it. She just had that mind of an artist that was just so unique. She would mess you up in a witty way, if a dancer come out with yellow tutus or yellow tights, she'd be like, the cornbird seeing somebody today or something like that, and really mess them up. So I remember that so much about Leah, about bringing life and as a friend. And she was extremely dear, very, very, very sensitive to a lot of issues. To me, even sometimes to tell her, Leah, don't take on everybody's burden, she would kind of like motherly take on people's burden and advocate for them. And I thought that sometimes, she would like, oh my gosh, you preserve yourself, don't extend yourself so much. But that was just her nature. And I really, truly, truly could say that I'm blessed to know that that I had that there as a friend for so long, and to be honored to be part of companies that we dance together with. For so long in the latter years, in the last few years, I kind of lost touch with her. I knew that she was kind of a little bit, doing her own thing, not in dance as much, but in doing it in an academic sense. And I was so proud of her when I heard that she completed her master's. But we can only celebrate our fond memories of Leah. And boy, they have real amazing memories of Leah. She was an amazing artist, very unique, very powerful on stage, a true principal dancer. Somebody in a comment mentioned her akin to Judith Jameson of the Alvinity Dance Theatre. And I think that was really apt. She was really a leading dancer and a leading artist. And, I thank you all so much for having this forum
I
for
only
people to
say
share.
that.
What's important about this too is that younger dancers who might not have known or experienced her, and other people within her generation, it's important for them to understand that, because you see, as a performer, the performing element, Leah had that. Leah had that, and somebody told me that John Isaacs told me one time, dance is observation.
Exactly.
And we have to, so it's a good way of spreading, showing other dancers, especially the younger dancers, some of the iconic performers that we had, and Leah was certainly so. So thank you all so much for giving me the opportunity to share tonight.
I didn't know about.
And may God
Isn't that
bless
you
us
have so
all.
much great memories with Leah? Because we are going to now show you some memories that we have of you with Leah dancing. Enjoy.
Volume seems to be very soft. Could you turn up the volume on the video? Guys, I realize the audio is a little soft, or some of you all are not hearing it at all. However, we see Leah there in the
With
black.
Alan Balfour.
Okay. Now, So we'd ask Alan to tell us a little bit about this dance when we finished, when the video is completed.
That's it.
And there's Alan off
Alan!
stage.
Alan, you remember that dance?
Wow! Oh my gosh, that is to tell you the honest truth, I remember like half of everything that went on there. That was when we were in the National Dance Company, I think it was.
Yes.
And one of the few times I got to partner with Leah, and it I really can't remember the exact theme of the dance, but I know that she was intimidating me and trying to bring me over to a certain side, that it was like a competition. She was one side and I was the other. But it was a big ballet, either choreographed by Felix Carrington, or one of those notable choreographers. But Leah,
that was Nancy Herrera's piece, actually. Nancy Herrera's
right.
piece, Savannah.
Oh yes, that's correct. Yes.
1991.
Right.
Bacchanal.
Yeah.
1991.
Yeah, Nancy, that's correct. Nancy's great piece. Yeah. So I mean, the thing about that, Nancy has a balletic background, so there was quite a bit of ballet involved in it, and technique type thing mixed with folkloric stuff. The thing about Leah is that Leah, as far as I know, didn't have a huge lot of technical training, as in terms of a lot of ballet. We got some training with Astor Johnson and different exposures when people came to do class. But Leah just had natural technique. She just was one of those dancers. Yeah, when she point her foot, when she does certain things, her body just adapted into a natural,
Yes.
She just had natural technique. People used to think that she did this whole lot of ballet classes and that sort of thing, but it really wasn't so. She just was one of those all-round dancers, and that piece probably highlighted that as well too, because it had some ballet involved in it.
Yes, I saw that. It's really interesting, a really interesting piece. Well, Alan, I want to say thank you so much for joining us tonight. And continue supporting SOCA TV. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All
absolutely.
right.
So we have lots
guys.
in the background, people. Lots of thanks a lot. Thank you. A lot of people come in to give us their memories of Leah Gordon, and we have so many stars in the background. Up next, we have coming from the land of the myth, Trinidad. Only one person could have topped this person and penalty. Spencer was Leah Gordon. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Roma Spencer. Hi, Roma.
So Roma has a little bit of a delay, but I know she would be.
Okay, sorry about that. My microphone was on mute.
Oh, there we go. But we're not hearing her audio.
She's on.
Are you hearing me now?
Oh, she's muted.
Hi, Roma.
Are you hearing me now? Are you hearing me now?
Unmute your mic. Your mic.
I'm on. Yeah. Are you hearing me now? Are you hearing me now? Good.
Fond memories of Leah.
Okay, you hear me now, right?
Yes, we're hearing you. We are seeing you.
Thank you for having me. I want to say hello to Gregory and Mindy and all those who are tuning in today for this memorial for my dear friend and sister in the arts, Leah Gordon. And I'd like to start by saying, I am not no big singer, but I'm going to recite from Joker of Seville by Derek Walcott.
Tell us some fun memories of Leah, that you remember?
Yes. Let me just start by saying, from Joke of Seville by Derek Walcott, there is a sower in the sky who sows the seeds of stars. That sower name is death, my love, who sows that we must die. And if I die before you, love, the harvest that I reap would be the memory of our love through everlasting sleep. Through everlasting sleep, my love, through everlasting sleep. Rest in eternal sleep, my dear friend and sister in the arts, Leah Gordon. So I met Leah when I joined Barataria, West Village. And outside of that, we always, met up in what was called then the legitimate theater. Back in the day, they had this thing about what was legitimate theater. West Village was illegitimate theater, and the other theater that happened, in the Little Carib Theater and down at 10th Theater was legitimate theater. And Leah was also a member of the Trinidad 10th Theater, so that was part of the legitimate theater, and I was a member of Caribbean Theater Guild. And my fond memories of Leah is just to add a lot of what Alan said. Leah had the gift of wit. She was very, very funny, a dry sense of humor. And one of the things I always remember about things that she would say is, she said so many things that made you laugh. And one of the things that always stand out for me after all these years, this was since somewhere in the 70s, she would have said this, is after some allegations were made that she was a gay. Leah's response was, not because you drink a beer, you're an alcoholic. So that's one of the things I always remember of her, and the notion of a 5-cent hoe. I mean, I'm like, what the hell is a 5-cent hoe? So those are some of the beautiful things I remember of Leah. In addition to the fact that whenever I remember her dancing days, I always remember her as Ye Manja. In the repertory dance theaters, choreography by Astor Johnson. And if ever there is this notion of what Yemanja look like, I swear Yemanja looks like Leah, or Leah looks like Yemanja, And another dance that I always remember her in is a dance called Graveyard for the Living. She always somehow, whenever she did the dances that had some dramatic sequence in it, she always excelled. And she excelled because she was also a good actor. I mean, she acted in plays like Odd Couple, directed by Raymond Chukang, the late Earl Warner out of Barbados, but he was based in Jamaica. A play called My Handsome Captain. She acted opposite Rubadiri Victor. She did a lot of plays as well, in addition to being a fabulous dancer. She had this kind of presence on stage, and I was the one who said that she is, to me, likened to Alvin Ailey's leading lady, Judith Jameson, just by virtue of her height and the power that she brought on stage. Leah was just par excellence. And I last met with her 3 years ago when I was in Trinidad directing Carnival Medea. She interviewed me for her thesis. She was doing, her thesis was on Jamet consciousness. And I, having done that kind of a work many, many moons ago in 1992 with Jean and Dinah, in doing the research of those women that serviced the Yankee sailors in Trinidad, Second World War II. She came to me for further research on Jamet consciousness. So I'm happy that at least 3 years ago I met with her, and I must say that I've been in touch with her niece Chelsea Gordon, and I hope she's looking on. And the last I heard is that they haven't been able to do a proper autopsy on her because of how badly decomposed her body, the condition of her body. So what they did, yes, so what they did is took blood tissue, body tissues and blood to do a number of tests, of course, that the results wouldn't come out till in a month's time, because there's so many other tests before her. And so the family is a bit worried right now. They just want to bury her, and they are hoping that they don't have to wait until the test is done, the results come back before they could bury her. But I don't think that will happen, though. You know, she certainly can be buried in the meantime while they await those autopsy results. But thank you so much for having this memorial for Leah. You know, during these trying times, I mean, it's so hard to really celebrate the life of our loved ones because of the pandemic, but this will suffice. And I'm happy to see not only just images of her dancing, but, you know, other members of the community, not only in dance, but in theater as myself, are here to remember, you know, the memory of our dear friend Leah. Just so funny. The kind of things used to come out of Leah's mouth. And let me tell you something. Don't ever get a vex neither, because she will just cuss way behind. You know, she will lay you down low, so low that you could sit on the white line of the middle of the road and still hang your foot. That is how bad she could take you down. You know, but I loved her, still love her. She was just so beautiful. And you know, as Marva was saying in the earlies, you know, there were clearly, you know, some trauma, you know, during her growing up life, but she was able to somehow create a facade, because when she met us on the road, when we met with her, we ain't know no trauma. All we know was just fun and life. Yeah? Yes. Beautiful, beautiful woman. And they talk about the best ever smile and teeth you could ever find on a dancer was Leah Gordon. When she give you that smile on stage, those teeth, oh my God. There's no other. Yeah. So thank you so much. Mama. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you for sharing those memories. And right now, we were going to invite Miss Carol LaChapelle. However, she is not on screen at the moment, so we are going to move right along. And we have with us the president of the National Dance Association, who has also done a lot of work with Leah and is here to share tonight her experiences, her memories. We want to invite on the screen Miss Imelda Lynch Griffiths.
Hi, Mommy.
Good night, Imelda. Good night. Good night.
Imagine I am.
Yes, she's our mother.
After Leah, after Roma. Imagine that.
Could you speak a little louder or come closer so we could get a little better audio?
I have to hold this thing up. You hear me better now?
Yes.
Right. Not techno savvy and not ashamed to say that. I met Leah sometime in the 80s in Barataria. I don't know if she was there when I came in 1983. I know there were members of Repertory Dance Company that did that last Best Village show in 1983. And really, I took over the group in 84. I can't remember if she was part of the Repertory group and she stayed on. I can't remember at this point in time. How should I say it? Leah as a person was really quite overwhelming. You give her something to do, she would do it in a way that you didn't expect. I could remember giving her a part in one of the dances we were doing. I can't remember the name of the dance at this point in time. If Gregory was there, Gregory will remember. That dance where I told Leah she must run and jump on Terry.
That's a devil dance.
Oh Lord.
It's a
And
Jamalasti.
I swear she was going to throw down Terry because she ran and she jumped. One of the things that Leah always did was to get into character. It is something that a lot of our dancers miss now. They still look, our dancers now still looking for friends and family in the audience. That never happened. That never happened with Leah. She got into character. She got into character. Okay.
Yes, we're seeing you better. Yes.
It's helping me now. That's Camille. She got into character whenever you asked her to do anything. She was part of, well, how should I say it, from what I know, part of Barataria Community Council, part of Repertory. I don't know which one came first because I was out of the country from 1974 to the end of 1980.
Repertory came first.
So
It was Repertory and then Barataria.
Repertory and then Barataria. After Barataria, the National Dance Theatre Company of Trinidad and Tobago that started in 1991 re-collaborated with the ministry in 1992 to perform in Carifesta. She stayed on. I left Trinidad again in 2000, came back in 2006, and she was back with the dance corps that we always trying to keep together to have a national dance theatre company. One of the dances that I did in 1991 and repeated it in 1992 and repeated it in 1995 was a dance called Enough Respect. And I gave Leah the lead to be one of the women who is protecting her man in the lead. And it was unbelievable what she did with that kind of characterization. I could not have thought of instructing her to do that way. She added something more to the dance. She took the dance. She took it over. She took over the character. That was Leah. Leah was loyal. Leah was loving. Leah loved 150% any relationship Leah had, I guess with the dance too, it was 150%. It was never just 100, it was never 75. She put herself into it. The last time that I had anything, that I met with Leah, was she had a discussion with me on the phone about her Jamet, I don't know if it was a thesis, but that was the document.
The masters, yes.
She was working on this and she started talking to me about it and we started exchanging views about it. But the kind of energy that she was putting into that document, I have a copy. I say, oh God, Leah, I'm not able. Because some of the things she was saying was true. Some of the things that she was saying is how we should say, a deduction of the information that she had collected that nobody else had thought about. But that was Leah. She never did things halfway. Never. I am so sorry. The last time I saw her, actually, I wondered what was wrong because she didn't stop and talk. She just said hello and she kept going. And to me, that was a little strange because she always had some little tidbit to tell you. And that was the last time that I saw her. It is really, 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 really sad the way that she transitioned out of this world. She's it is somebody who loved people who, it is really, really sad. Maybe one day we will. Huh?
I said it is indeed. It is indeed a sad, sad occasion.
Yeah. I will never forget her. Her support of me and the things that I did was phenomenal. I don't think she was ever one of those persons that would have criticized me. I don't think, because she is or was how she was. Um, well, she's dancing in heaven now.
Yes.
She had
Well, you know,
all the people that have gone this year, mothers and mothers of dancers that she danced with. Shelley's mother, she going to meet them, so she going to entertain them up there. It's a sad, sad time. Sad, 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 sad.
but we're still here and we're celebrating. So what we want to do now with Miss Imelda is to show the video of Enough Respect.
Okay.
Your choreography,
Hold it, hold it.
1991.
1991. One of the
Okay.
things, one you putting it on when you finish.
Okay.
Wait,
Hope you get the song.
Hope you get the sound.
Leah is in red.
Leah is in red. It's not showing. Are you all seeing the video?
No. It's a black screen.
Are you seeing it?
No.
No, I'm hearing the video. I'm not seeing. Are you hearing the video, Miss Imelda?
Not at all. And don't call me Miss Imelda now. Imelda good enough.
Blank screen.
Okay, it's on. Okay, it's on.
It's on now?
Right. Leave it there. Okay.
Are you seeing it still?
Right.
All right.
No, she's not in red. That is Crystal D'Souza in red. What color she was in? She was in orange.
Are you still seeing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes? Okay.
So the one there is Christopher Shepherd. No. No. Philip Sargent. No, I'm not Philip Sargent. Philip was Crystal. The video is, it's not moving in real time, and you're not hearing the song.
We'll ask you again after.
Yeah, it would have been Christopher. So that's Christopher Shepherd and Philip Sargent fighting there. Oh, this is the end. You're not seeing it properly. Because she's on the floor on the, what's that? The left. It's the ending of the piece.
Oh, Imelda, that was a hot piece of stick fighting dance. Can you explain a little to the audience, the viewing public, what it was about? What was the intention?
question of the piece was women, and how they love their men and how they will do anything to protect their men.
Okay, nice.
Was really about. Maybe it was right up her street. Maybe it was right up Leah Street.
Yeah, she used to protect the men very much. I remember she always protected me.
Yeah.
Every time I go out, Gregory, where you going? You can't go down that way, living that way. She always did it at night time when we finished rehearsals.
Now
She would even grab my hand after rehearsals and walk home with me and make sure I get into a car and make sure do all this thing to get about away from repertory.
My idea was to use our folklore to tell a story. That was the idea.
Who was the guy? Who was the guy in the white who was doing all the turns?
That was Christopher Shepherd.
Christopher Shepherd, beautiful turning.
And the victor was Philip Sargent.
Oh,
all right.
Great. Yes. When South meet North. Nice.
Well, thank you very much, Miss Imelda Lynch Griffith, our President of the National Dance Association. We really appreciate you coming to share your stories with us. And we're going to go on to some others so that we can hear their experiences. Thank you very much and good night. Continue viewing the program.
Okay, hold on. I just want to say, because I studied out in the United States, first name, calling me by my first name is not a problem. Miss Imelda is so ancient. You know, it's
You're
so
young.
Gregory doesn't
You're
call
young.
me. Gregory doesn't call me Miss Imelda.
I call you Mel.
Right. So don't call me
I
that.
try my best to still show a little respect.
In Tortola, don't care what I said, they call me Miss Imelda. Miss Imelda, don't care what. I guess that is our British upbringing. But I don't mind
do that too.
Imelda. Huh?
Trinidadians do that too. They have good upbringing when coming to their elders. We can't afford, every time somebody is older than we are, or much older, even can be 5 years older, we always call them uncle, miss, auntie. Yeah, I just have to stop a lot of people from calling me Grandpa Greg. Because, so we have to be very, very careful.
Yeah. One small story. Now, I am the last of my mother's children. My eldest brother was like 16 years older than me. So when he had children, I was small. When his first daughter was born, I was 7. So when they were able to talk and they reached 10 and they're calling me auntie, I said no. At 10 they're calling me auntie? No, hell no. So up to now they call me.
It's a nice thing to have this jolly nice and lightness on this celebration of Leah's life. I think Leah would have loved this.
Yes.
Leah,
Definitely. Okay.
Leah would have loved this.
Thank you again. And you be safe and have a good night.
And watch the continue watching the show.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, I see. Well.
So guys, we ask you to continue to share so that I know a lot more people who would not have the chance to express their feelings about Leah. They can do so on the show tonight. We ask you if you have any videos or if you have any videos or if you have any pictures, you can also send it in to WhatsApp 319-8100. 319-8100. Send any pictures or videos you have of Leah performing. We would like to, throw it in if we could at the end of the program. Up next, we're going to move on to another well-known dancer. Recently, because we know he returned to Trinidad within a few years ago.
My friend, my advisor, and my superstar. Well, you know how things go. Terry Springer, how you doing, brother?
Good night.
Hi, Gregory. Good night to you all.
Terry Springer, how are you?
I am, what can I say? I'm saddened by the fact that, Leah has passed, but, I'm happy that we are celebrating her life tonight. And thank you so much to SOCA TV and staff, because I think Leah would have wanted that, celebration of her life, because she was never the type of person who would, be um sad about anything. But well, I knew Leah both on an artistic and personal level, but she
Nice.
was always a performer. So most people might not have known her, with struggles and stuff, because she was always performing. That was her life. She was so passionate. When I first met Leah, or first saw Leah, I was a drummer. Carol LaChapelle had a gig that he used to dance every Monday night. I think Reggie, you were in that as well. Every Monday night in Hilton. And I used to play drums with Junior, Noel, and Redman and they.
Oh,
And every
okay.
night, every Monday night, yes, I started drumming actually before dancing. So every Monday
Oh,
night, I used to play there around the pool, Hilton pool. And when I saw this person came out, I mean, I was in awe. Really, I was blown away by the. I mean, Leah was the muse of dancing, in my opinion, of dancing Trinidad and Tobago, and if not the world. Okay, she inspired a lot of people. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, I want to be part of that. I wanted to be part of that. So then I started doing some research and finding out of how, to be around this kind of grandeur. This She was the epitome of grace. You know, someone compared her with Judith Jameson. Talking about Grace. I compare her with Grace Jones. That's her name, the actress
yes,
from
yes,
many years
yes.
ago. Yes, because she, yes, she commanded space, and you had to be, and she danced amongst the best of Trinidad and Tobago and abroad also, because she traveled a lot also back in the time. But it was really challenging, to you had to make an effort to look at the other dancers when Leah was on stage with other dancers, because it was really overwhelming in the sense positively, seeing Leah on stage. So you had to actually make an effort ever so often to look at the other dancers, because she was that type of person. Alan Balfour said it earlier. She was a natural soloist. In other companies out of Trinidad and Tobago, she would not be dancing with other people. She would just be doing solos, because she would naturally upstage people, and not because she has had this air about her. No, because she was very passionate. She was real. She was sincere. She was pure and honest to her art form. Yes. And both on stage and off stage, she was very honest. Okay. She was also very altruistic. And when I say so, I mean always caring for people, always looking after the well-being of other people, and so yes, I wanted to be part of that. And then I asked Gregory, how to go to Astor Johnson and stuff like this. And Gregory was very instrumental also, thank you, Gregory, in my upcoming as a dancer. And that was many years ago. And he still is. He still is,
I see in the
because
gray, yeah.
I still call him, and I have a lot of respect for Gregory. But getting back to Leah, I mean, um she was that kind of person who would very, very selfless, who would give everything to make other people feel good, in the sense of the well-being of other people. And I remember she had a niece that it was everything for her. I don't remember her name right now. I think it's Chelsea, but Leah called her by another name. She would give everything, and everything was about this niece. Everything was about Chelsea. Leah's life was centered on that girl. And I never really met most of her family, because artists have a way of separating their artistic life from their family life. I'm coming to think of it, most of my best friends in artists and stuff, I don't really know their family, most of them. Okay, so on a personal level, because we went out for about 3 years, Leah was so witty. Leah had a way with words. Oh my gosh. I swear, when I met Leah, I said, I have to read more. because I started and really started reading more and really started studying more, because she would take anything. I remember once she was like, this joke that I kind of plagiarized from Leah. I don't know where she got it from. She was so good with words. Everything was a pun for her, you know. And it was once she was like, there was this pony who went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, oh, so what's your problem? And the pony said, well, oh, I'm a little horse. And you know, and I remember that vividly. Leah, I don't know if she made that up or if she got it somewhere, but she would take things, and you have to be very careful of what you said around her, because she would really, you know, mess you up with words. And she was an all-rounder. All-rounder. She would put you down, but she would lift you up. She was a Jackie, if I can say that, a Jackie of all trades and master of all, because she was a great performer, all round, in acting, in dance, in singing also. And as Alan said before, I never really knew Leah to have this superb technique, but Leah was par excellence on stage, you know, and she would play the part. She would play the part. You could put Leah in anywhere. She was very versatile dancer, and she would play the part. And mind you, the people around her, you had to keep up. You just had to keep up. As in, I remember this vividly once in Barataria, and Imelda Lynch Griffith told Leah to jump on me. And Leah you had to be ready, or if not, my goodness, I was sorry for you. So, and she just ran in, and Leah came flying across the floor. You all know how big and majestic and how great she was. And she would just do it. And and she did that twice to me in Mrs. Romano's funeral. We met afterwards after a while, because I left for Venezuela and came back 28 years later in 2017. I left in late 1990 and came back in 2017. And then Mrs. Romano from Barataria, she passed, and we all had a kind of reunion and went there and we danced in her funeral and stuff. And Leah just jumped on me, and I had to lift her dancing in the funeral. But it was so funny that it just was like a deja vu from that time back in the center. So, you know, Leah's a person, her art form was therapy for her. She used it as therapy, and which I think it's a great thing, because for me, dance is therapy as well, because it's you're either a dancer or you're not. You're either a performer or you're not. You can't fake these things. It's like 100. She was 100% or 150%, as Imelda said, a performer, yes or nothing. She went all out in every aspect, in her arts, in her personal life, in every aspect of her life. And you know, Leah did a lot for me. I learned how to cook, for example, so much. So much, because, and you know, it kind of like prepared me to go to Venezuela, because you know, I asked her, I said, okay, some people came from crazy people, because for me they were crazy. They just came to Trinidad, had an audition, and wanted me to leave the next week to go to Venezuela. And she said, well, along with the late Miss Rowe, well, go. You have nothing here to lose in Trinidad and Tobago. Just leave, you know. And I did that. And so she was also very instrumental in my going to Venezuela. And you know, and we lost contact for a while, unfortunately. But I have always held Leah very dearly in, you know, in my heart. And she was a powerful woman, a glorious woman, on stage, off stage. And you know, I really would and greatly appreciate, you know, having Leah as part of my life. Okay, Biba Leah, long live Leah. That's
Long live Leah. Yes.
Well, Terry, actually, well, thanks to those great memories. I didn't hear you talk about when I first came to meet you all at I think Leah was living at Julia Edwards' house, and I saw you all there, and I was like, oh my God.
Oh yes, because as I said before, we went out for a while. I actually lived with Leah for 3 years.
Well, the greatest thing I always remember with Leah is everybody around that time. I love Christmas. And everybody around that time had Christmas trees with lights, and Leah made her Christmas tree with cloth.
Because
She had this.
she was very prolific and creative. I mean, in every aspect. I mean, and she talk about cook, real cook, and she would take something from nothing, something nothing and make it into something. Sorry, and she was just wow. That's the word I have for Leah.
But she
wow.
have you looking good with all the food.
Well, yeah.
All the year she jumped on you and all the food. She have you looking very good. That double dance on Imelda said go. And Leah dashed off. I had to lift a girl at the same time, and I was sorry for you.
Okay, no,
Leah used to scream.
She was all out.
Leah used to scream out, "I come in."
Yes, and you just had to be ready. You had to be ready, And well, when I met her again after so many years, well, she was into the gender aspect, and around this time, I think some guy, it went viral on video or whatever. He brutally ill-treated a Venezuelan girl, and he had a video saying whatever, and Leah was so upset. And I mean, she could cuss. Leah was very educated, very literate, but she could in cussing as well. I think she has a master's in cussing as well. Okay, so she was very compassionate about everything. So don't get on her wrong side as well, because she would let you have it. Okay, she never used to put water in her mouth to talk, so to speak. And she was really, really disturbed and concerned by what was happening with women, And she was always inclined to that from ever since, caring about people, caring about people. It doesn't matter who. And yes, she took care of her man, Gregory. Yes, she did.
Yes, she did.
Yes.
So
well, we have a video here.
We have a little video here, Terry, and we're going to show you back some memories. There we go.
I wonder who that person is. That's Junior. This is for Mrs. Romano. You rehearsal?
Yes.
Okay. Here she goes.
Yes, yeah.
There's the Master of Masters coming forward. So many great memories of that center with Leah and all you dancers, Imelda, Dolores. My goodness, there she is.
Well,
Imelda. Wow. And it was so great to see all of you again. And this was in tribute of Mrs. Romano. You were going to dance this the following day, right, Gregory, if I'm not wrong?
Yes. This dance is actually choreographed by everybody there.
Yes.
Five generations of Barataria dancers.
Mm-hmm. I was in the last. Sorry. It's celebrating her life. She was all about laughter.
There's Roxanne Souza at the end.
Yes, she is. Yes.
Dolores Alexander, Jamila Phillips.
And that's Junior as well, right? Junior, I forgot his last name.
Dolores Alexander, Janine Carter. The niece of Jeffrey Carter. Yes. Yeah, but no white skirt.
Yes, that's Leah behind you, Gregory.
Oh, she's the back. She's the one in white skirt.
The white skirt, yes.
Go, Terry.
And the video is not in real time, so you're not really seeing what we're doing. And there she is. Look at her, just there.
Yes, standing out.
Majestic, standing out like a mountain. So majestic and strong, rooted.
Definitely, Jesus is really promising her home over there, and she'll go meet it.
Yes.
I am certain Leah will be placed in one of those mansions. And the skirt belonged to Shelly and Julian. Leah always wear that white skirt.
If I may say something else, just one thing to wrap up.
Go ahead.
The part that I remember, or the role I remember Leah dancing most is Yemanja. Leah performed one of the iconic pieces of Astor Johnson with the Repertory Dance Theatre, and Leah she was Yemanja. And what can I say? The lasting impression of this solo is, for me, it's like the centering of my soul, or of a soul, to make it more general. Those are the words that I have of Leah performing that piece. I mean, you say Leah and you see Yemanja, Leah, Yemanja. I don't know what it was before, but after that, it would be somebody has to come up really, really good to overcome that or to surpass that. So Leah, dance with the angels, my darling. And thank you so much.
It's a great thing that you did say Yemanja, because anytime I think of Leah, I saw her when I was a little boy dancing, and anytime I think of Leah, I see her in Woman Hold Your Head and Cry. I think anybody who do that solo, Bob Marley's tribute to a king, Astor Johnson's choreography,
Johnny was a good boy, the music, I think.
Yeah, Johnny was a good. Anytime Leah came out, and it had a time when they changed Leah and put somebody else, and I was so mad. I was like, the dance is not looking the same, because Leah embodied that spirit of motherhood in all the dances, and that's why she could have bring back Yemanja, the spirit of Yemanja within her. She embodied it well. That because she had this motherhood thing about her.
Yes. And as I said before, on stage and off stage, she was always caring for everyone. And it's such a pity that, she was disconnected for a while from the art, from people, from what I've heard. Because I also have to be honest, hadn't heard from her in a while, and we kept in touch via WhatsApp. And then she just went off the grid, so to speak. So that should have raised a red flag, and it could be, a signal, or for us, we as dancers, people in the arts, now we are using the term social distancing, but I really think, well, as far as I'm concerned, it should not be called social distancing. Now is the time you really have to socialize and call people, use the phone. So I would say it's physical distancing what we have to do. But okay, we are using social distancing, so let's go with that. But really take up the phone and call someone. Yes, we have to be more connected. So what can I say?
Thank you for those wonderful words, Terry. I'm glad that you could actually say it, because I did say it in one of my earlier shows with SOCA TV. Take some time to go and visit one of the elders in dance. There are many of them out there, and I know that they are not seeing the dancers as they used to. Not now.
I mean, you can give them a call. So,
yes, give them a call. Keep in touch. There is Terrence Mohammed. There is still Mr. Butler. They have a lot of them going that there, and we need to call them and say, how are you doing? Because these people at one time laid a platform down for us to to grow, and we are now laying the platform down for other people to grow, and it was because of them. So let's take a moment to actually call one of these elders and say, how are you doing? Well, thank
Okay,
you,
great.
Terry. It was very, very
Thank
nice
you so
speaking with
much
you.
for having me.
Appreciate it.
Unfortunately,
Oh, we'll always have you.
under these
We'll have you
circumstances-
anytime.
Yes.
Nice Leah talk. We'll have
Okay.
you anytime.
You have a point,
Okay.
but it's on your head. Okay, good. Take
Yeah.
care.
Good
Bye-bye.
night. Good night.
Okay, well, what next? Well, to
Guys,
bring on this lady, I have, well, let's both do it. I call her the grand dame. I call her the person who will be sitting in the throne after Beryl McBurney left us. Ladies and gentlemen,
Dr. Carol LaChapelle. We really appreciate Dr. LaChapelle for taking the time out to come and share her stories with us as well. And stay tuned, you all. We have some pictures. I want to see if you all can, the person who has sent in pictures, we want to see if you can pinpoint yourself in the video, in the pictures,
Well,
see if you can find Leah in the pictures.
Yes.
Yes.
And while we wait for Dr. LaChapelle, because he seems to be having some problems, we'll just run right straight to Mr. Christopher Shepard, who also came out of Dr. LaChapelle's clutches. So, Christopher?
Let's see if Christopher
Hi,
is ready.
Christopher. How you doing?
Good night. Good night.
Hi. Good night, everyone. Good night.
brother.
It's a pleasure to be here. And I must say, I congratulate you all on this initiative, here tonight.
Thank you.
Is sad to be here and for this type of occasion, but yet still is a joyous occasion because we want to celebrate the life of a great artist.
Yes.
If ever there was an icon in dance in Trinidad and Tobago, Leah would be it. The top icon then, Leah will be it. When I think of Leah, I think of this. Dance is an art of communication beyond verbal expression. It is the rhythmic barometer of the soul. Leah captivated all of that. She communicated any problem, you just give Leah the part and say, don't give her the script. She don't need words for the script. She never needed words for that script. You just give her and she will bring it out in dance and you would understand. You showed a video earlier. The one from Nancy Herrera.
Yes.
And that video captured everything there was. The warrior, the protector, the mother,
nice.
It's the passion. She had a laser focus when she did things, What I admired Leah, but you had brought me in after all these opening batsmen, and it's like they said so much already. What else could I say? I can't even put some icing on that cake.
Well, you can because you were there longer.
No.
So let's talk about your plenty memories.
I have a lot of fond memories of Leah. When I first saw Leah, again, it was Yemanja Speaks. In Astor Johnson Company. And as Terry said it, this amazing spirit appeared, and it was total drama and dance and everything every word you could find to describe beauty and majesty, and that is what she exuded a light of, when you look at her, you could only feel happy, and remember she used to work at Scotiabank when Scotiabank was at the corner of Park and Henry Street corner there.
I forgot it.
And what I admire then about her too is her courage, because she left the bank to dance. And I met her. I used to go to the bank to see her and then I say, "But Leah, you left the bank to dance?" And she said, "Yes." You know, it totally blew my mind because I think in Trinidad, dance, she probably going to Alvin Ailey, because I couldn't believe the world didn't pick up Leah and take her from us, you know. And perhaps she had a greater desire, I think, to let it grow in Trinidad more, you know. She had a passion, a certain passion. And some of the things that Leah had about her, she was a very private person. Although she was very, very outgoing and everything else, but she had a home. She was really a woman of, you know, she liked home, you know, she loved her home, and she was very passionate about her family. Terry said it before, her nieces, those girls, she was very protective of them, you know, and her nephews and that, she very, very protective. So some of the real nice memories of her, and someone spoke about her skirt. That skirt, she one dancer I know, you never had to bring a skirt to rehearsal.
Yes.
You know, dancers will go and you will say, you know, they jump out in the ties and they had to do a belly dance. And they say, well, okay, we're doing a piqué tonight or something, we do have costume. But Leah, you never had to tell Leah that. She was always equipped, always ready. I was always amazed of her memory. You will give her the script now, and man, by the time you walk away, she was saying the lines, you know, and she was always ready to put down the script. And you say, well, but she just got the script, you know. And she'd start to act one time. It wasn't like, you know, we read it and we say, okay. But she was just amazing when it comes to that, you know. Yes, enough respect. Enough respect. I remember that piece because I was in enough respect. And the power that Leah brought to that dance, you know, as Alan said, she dwarfed everybody else around her. You had to be really, really trying to focus on everybody else, because regardless of where you look on that stage, Leah was that center focus. Leah was the kind of person, she will walk on the stage and do say a word, and you will gravitate there, you know, you will gravitate there. You just wouldn't look away from her, because her poise, what she'll do, she knew how to bring the audience to her, you know. So yeah, what else could I really, I mean, her passion, she was passionate, she was passion. When she took whatever she took, she was just amazing, you know. I remember her in My Handsome Captain, as someone mentioned there, and this piece was about oppression and trauma, and Leah captured all of that. Leah captured everything that, you know, people. I used to see nights after people will walk out the theater crying, you know, and she will play with your emotions, and everybody else said it already. She was so witty. Hey, where's my sorry, but she was a very witty person, you know. So yeah, you just have to be careful with what you're seeing around and thing, you know. So yes, and we were very instrumental too in the creation of the La Chapelle Company, Dr. La Chapelle Company. you know, and oh my gosh, we were part of the Hummingbird Dance Theater also. And I remember those times we really had really great times together, you know. Just a great part of my life, I could say, you know. And I really will truly miss her. It's sad that what has transpired. But the saddest part for me is knowing, you know, how tragic it happened. But that's another story, you know. But the love for her will always be there. I will always miss her. I'll always honor that spirit that she had, you know. Someone else mentioned Judy Jameson. Yes, I always thought that she could rival Judith Jameson anytime, you know. She was pure energy. And in her spirit world, that is what she'll be. Pure energy. You know. And she will not be someone that will be easily forgotten. I wonder the day when someone, who know, I might be damn too old already, but someone will write about the dancers that was worth writing about in this country, you know, this country, both Trinidad and Tobago, because it's such rich talent that we had. I mean, younger dancers should be knowing about people like Leah, because her focus, her energy, her love for people. Leah will give you her last dollar and look, she'll, you know, she'll if you had to go to South and Leah going to South, she will give you the money to take a car and she will walk to South. You know, that's how passionate she was, the kind of person she was, you know. And that kind of spirit, you don't find that all the time, right? So yeah, it's sad today, but I'm glad that you all took the time to really celebrate her life. And I must say I was very happy to be a part of her life, because I learned a lot. I learned a lot from that relationship, you know. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Christopher.
Thank you so much.
And we are doing this for the young people who don't know her. You know, hopefully they'll get to do a little more research about her and get to learn about her, and not only that, emulate her energy and her performance style, all of these things. That's why we are very glad that we got some videos to share as well.
Yes,
but
yes.
we are still trying to get on to Dr. LaChapelle to come on in a few.
And
but
one of the things in Dr. LaChapelle's company, I had the opportunity of choreographing a piece by the name of Piqué Lament, with Derek Casanova and Alan Balfour and all of us. We were together there, and those were really memorable times. Pure love, you know. We did things in St. Lucia together, St. Thomas, and one of her still starring roles too was in Sing the Chorus with Royal Gibbon, and she was amazing in that too, you know. So yeah, we will miss a great artist, great person, passionate, focus. Thank you so much.
Well, Christopher, it was a pleasure having you here. I know I haven't seen you during these COVID times to actually sit down and chat with. I talked to you about early on in March or April, and I know these COVID times have people very isolated from each other, but dancers out there are phones, and you could call each other and say hello, have a chat with each other, because we cannot we cannot keep isolating ourselves away for too long. Depression is real, and we have to believe, even if you don't believe in depression, it is there. So let's get our spirits up and everything. So from one star to another star, Christopher.
Thank you so much, Christopher.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank
Now
you
we
so
go
much.
all, you're welcome. Now we go all the way to Canada.
We going to
Again.
Carol?
Carol cutting off on huh? Yes. Oh, here we are. Dr. Carol LaChapelle.
So we're going to go to Miss LaChapelle. All right.
Hi, Miss LaChapelle, the Grand Dame of Dance. Hi, Doctor.
Hi, are you hearing us?
Carol? Auntie Carol, are you hearing us?
Probably has a slight delay, but we're hearing her.
Hi. I'm
Okay,
hearing
so
you. I'm hearing you. Can you hear me?
yes,
Yes,
so
I
you can
am.
go ahead.
Yes,
Give your
I
tribute.
am.
Give your tribute.
All right. Slight delay. Okay. Well, I just better be quick because I don't know. Tell me.
Do your tribute.
Well, right. I do want to jump in quickly and thank the two of you, Mindy, and your crew, SOCA TV, for the good work that you're doing. Really impressed. I've listened to as much as I could of the other tributes from people like Alan and Terry and Christopher, which is wonderful, you know. Leah was very, very special to me. Special in a way that she spanned a lot of time.
Oh, did we lose her?
We'll come back to her.
Well, we do have one video to show that Ms. LaChapelle would have contributed. So we could probably look at it in the meantime, and hopefully we get her back on. This was Leah's performance in Carnival Messiah. I'm not sure if this was the one held in Trinidad or the one in England. However, Leah had a phenomenal role in this piece.
Silence breathed.
Right. That's Leah there in a big blue costume. Carnival Messiah, by the way, was choreographed by Dr. Carol LaChapelle.
Sounded like an overview, but she's actually speaking there.
What a wonderful
Lovely piece,
fit
lovely
in
piece.
this. Dr. LaChapelle. That's only I would get on.
Yes.
I think. Yeah, that's it. Sean. Sean. So, Dr. LaChapelle, do you want to explain to us a little about that piece? I mean, it's so fitting for these times. I really told breathe.
Well, I didn't hear any sound, but I certainly saw the video, and I'm really glad that I, came upon it, found contribute. Leah's. It was such a shame that Leah did not get either the work permit to perform this in England, because she was at least. Well, it's one of the Messiah, Mother Earth, who directs, dictates, sets the pace for, and is worked aligned with, on either side of her. You have the alter egos. So you have two aspects of performance there: the spoken word, the dramatic, and the dance that supports and expresses it in a completely different way. But I'm sure, as you know, Leah was Trinidadian to her root. She was an excellent folk performer, and yet she could transform and
Okay. We seem to have lost Dr. LaChapelle. Well, guys, we do have some pictures that we want to show you. These were sent in by a few of our viewers, as well as people who would have loved Leah and loved performing with her. They're sharing their memories through these pictures. See if you can recognize anyone. See if you can recognize yourself. Right, so we're going to take you through some pictures. And if we do get Dr. LaChapelle back on, we will put her back on. Because I know we're in the wrapping up stage here now, but we still want to, allow her to say her piece, as well as Mr. Patrick Parson. He was holding on the line as well, and we seem to have lost connection. So if he does come back on, we would also love to hear him say his piece. So guys, let's look at some pictures now and see if you remember Leah. Okay. So somebody just came back on. It's Carol, so we could probably get her back on.
Yes.
Okay, so
we're
hearing you again.
I've shifted. You see how versatile I'm moving set.
Nice.
Yes, I was saying that Leah was able to perform that piece that you saw as an actress, and also the use of language, her vocabulary, her enunciation, her articulation. Excellent work. And I think this is maybe where I add another level to the understanding of Leah as an artist, as a performer, that she was not only a dancer, which is enough, trust me, right, Gregory, Mindy, it's enough, but, but she was an actress. She really was an actress, an amazing dramatic sense that I observed in many areas. For example, Trinidad Theatre Workshop, Tijan and his brothers, Love After Love. That was produced, choreographed by Elizabeth Bergman, who came to Trinidad as a Fulbright scholar. And at the end of her term here, she wanted to choreograph a piece on some of our dancers. So she chose 4 of us, one of them being Leah. And that piece, Love After Love, we not only were able to perform in Trinidad, but we actually got to perform at Harvard, which was really rather nice. Leah, Alison C. Paul, Sonia Dumas, myself. You know, so that's another level, another place, another space that Leah conquered. She, you know, a number of people have mentioned some of her process and progress from Hilton and the poolside performances, Camboulet Fiesta that I directed, to dancing with the company, La Chapelle Dance Company, and going on tour. We went as far as Rotterdam, you know, performing in Miami. All of these things, understand, she wasn't just a member of the company, as people have tried to articulate, because I'm not sure how you identify the singleness that is a person, an artist. Leah is the kind of performer who literally carried the energy and the performance level to a certain point, and you had to be able to keep up. So that if she was off, you were going to die because the whole thing would fail. Other people could not do what she was able to do, which is an amazing thing. I don't know if I've expressed that clearly, but if Leah decided she did not, for whatever reason, want to rise to the occasion, as in, I'm not feeling well, it wasn't that. She wasn't that kind of temperamental. But, you know, you just held your breath, because if Leah didn't decide to soar that time, that was the end of the piece. The piece was not going to soar. So, you know, she held the audience in the palm of her hand, as we generally say, but she also held you, the choreographer, the company, because so much was dependent on her energy, which is quite exceptional. Quite exceptional. Not many people can carry that load. You know, it's very special. So, you know, years later, after all of this dancing all over the Caribbean and Lucia and Jamaica and everywhere else, and Miami and Rotterdam, Leah and I meet up again years later at UNE. I'm teaching DIPED, and I keep walking into Leah, which is great because she's then able to share with me what she's doing. Having done her master's, having done it really well, I'm told. And she was so excited to share that she was expecting to have her thesis published. That Jamet that somebody earlier talked about, that was also, you know, she is able to capture on paper, in text, you know, and I am sorry, annoyed, vexed, even though we haven't been really, really close recently. But I was so looking forward to looking at her continue her journey, you know, looking at her like I'm going to look at you too. Continue, you understand? The journey. It's a nice place to be. We agreed? It's a nice place to be, you know, because the Auntie Carol, the children, the next generation, the world, the ball is now in your court. Leah was part of that because she was an inspiration to many. She progressed in her life as an artist, as a performer. She became an academic, you know. It would have been nice if she could have stuck around But and that bell tolls. Yeah, we remember you. We love you, Leah. She was funny too. She was very funny. I remember, but I'm not going to share. So thank you for having me again. And I'll give somebody else the space to keep talking, to keep sharing on Leah Gordon. May she rest in peace.
Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much,
much.
Dr. LaChapelle. It was such a pleasure having you here.
Really, really appreciate it.
Taking your time out from your busy schedule. We know about that busy schedule. Okay, and thanks a lot, because Leah would really appreciate hearing those words you said about her.
Absolutely.
Now, mind you, everybody is saying nice things and beautiful things.
Have a good night, Carol.
But Leah was one who would change every single word according to Terry Springer.
Mm-hmm.
If you tell Leah, my time will come, she would say, I know it's your time will come. She would change everything, and she made it so funny that I couldn't believe that I never wanted to say anything around her, because she always changed the wording. So here we go with some pictures from Leah.
Yeah, let's see. Welcome to Big Yes.
Yes, and Pastor Johnson.
So Leah would be the one in orange, as usual, standing out.
This was in Suriname, when they went to
Yes.
Kai Festa in Suriname.
And there she's down in the back in the front row in red.
Shining out again.
And we have Derek right there. We have Stannis and the others who would have gone on tour with her.
Marvin, I'm seeing you.
Yes. And of course, the ladies doing some shopping. Thank you, Roxanne, for these pics and helping us reminisce about the good times with Leah.
You see how Leah's standing out between those three other divas. Roxanne, you need some work, girl. Go ahead. Look at this.
Yes, in all of her magnificence. And she's always known for these long, beautiful skirts.
And those Marina Osha hips.
Yes. So, guys, we want to end off this evening. We have not been able to get on to Patrick Parson. He had to leave, but we do appreciate him taking time out to, be part of the program in the background. And we are going to close with this very fitting piece of Leah performing with the Repertory Dance Company. And she's performing in the piece Stay Up Zimbabwe, where she had a lead role. And we want to thank Miss Alison C. Paul for supplying this video for us. I danced with Leah a few times, and she was, like everybody says, a mother to me in the dance fraternity. I want to say my thanks to Leah.
Go ahead. Yeah, I don't listen to that.
Why you take a little Leave so.
There's Patrick.
She touched all of that and stuff, and then she put the hand up. I just
That's exactly how we'll remember Leah. That strong, feminine, um, that woman of
That's powerful.
substance. Yes, that power of freedom. Nice, beautiful. And the speech there you heard was at the ending was the
Master
great-
Johnson.
Yes, you
Oh,
know
yeah,
thing,
Russian, yeah.
you know thing. I just say I can't just call them by the names. I have to always put a tag onto their names because I find these people have done such awesome work in the past. These dances were choreographed in the 70s, and I am longing to see something in the 90s or 21st century hitting for these dances. So I think that the ones who went before us have done a magnificent job. The only thing you all didn't do much was write. I wish you all had wrote and keep writing so that the younger ones could have some things to follow on to.
Now, guys, I want to thank, I'm seeing here a comment made by Mr. Peter Burke. He said that he was a schoolmate of Leah and he was impressed by her talent and her wit, her activism, and her intellect. And yes, that did sum up Leah. That does sum up the entire person of Leah. And while the program was going on, I would try to make some notes of the words that were very prominent, you know, these descriptive words that people use to describe Leah. And I see that Jason Jones has also sent in some tributes and thanking us for, talking about Leah as a powerhouse. She says that she's truly an icon of dance and womanhood. She will be greatly missed. Rest in peace, dearest Leah.
And there you have a next one from one of my favorite dancers. Another favorite dancer, Avni Joy, Dookie, but now is Bell. Thank you for doing this, SOCA TV. Avni, it's a pleasure having you here. Maybe we'll have you on the show one day in an interview. Avni has done very well in Trinidad and Tobago. I think she won the Carnival Queen Show with Wayne Barclay, one year. Yeah, the last year he held it in 1995 or 6. She won the competition. Darlene Beddock ran a close second. So thanks for being on the show, Avni.
But guys, I just want to call out. I want to just mention these words that I thought were very fitting to describe the person of Leah Gordon, whose memory we are, celebrating here tonight. These are the words that I keep hearing over and over as our panelists came on to pay their tribute. I heard loyal,
loving,
150%,
Jamet,
striking,
pure energy,
phenomenal,
honest,
caring,
witty,
all-rounder,
a Jackie of all trades and mother of all.
And she was a master of all, versatile,
prolific,
creative,
triple threat,
passionate,
majestic,
strong,
light,
courageous,
and of course we leave you on this note,
powerful. That people was Leah Gordon, and we really want to thank you all for joining us here tonight and helping us, celebrate her life and sharing the information with the younger ones who would not even know her. All right. We here at SOCA TV, we continue to, support the arts and do what we can in this time of the coronavirus restrictions. We are continuing to put on some programs for the younger dancers, for the younger artists, whether they're male or female, and we will keep you abreast of all that we are, taking part of and offering to keep the arts alive in the background, because, we can't die. And on that note, we have just a quick note to tell you we have some It's a workshop. It's a
workshop.
dance-a-thon. I think it's being
It's
held
a
by
dance-a-thon.
Blossom.
Blossom Reed.
Okay.
Good work. It's called Freedom
Dance-a-thon.
Dance-a-thon. And she's doing this on via.
I'm looking at so it's on Zoom, and it is tomorrow, and it's free, guys.
And you have a lot of work. You have ballet, modern actually, you have hip hop, you have soca.
Contemporary. She has a lot of genres that she is putting on. She's going to have on tomorrow: Afrobeats, hip hop. So guys, soca, we ask you to come out and support the younger artists. I know, of course, this is what Leah would have wanted, and she would want us to continue supporting anybody who's doing phenomenal work in the arts.
If Blossom, and the way how Blossom Reed is working these days, trust me, 50 years to come, we'll be talking about it the same way about Blossom, because you're a very strong dancer indeed, and you're leaving quite an impression on the minds of Trinidad and Tobago, the artistic minds, that is.
All right, so guys, we are going to close off now. We thank you so much for joining us here tonight, and you know, we look out for whenever the funeral arrangements would be made. We will be sure to pass on the information when it does come around. We are going to tag the information for Blossom's Peace Dance-a-thon tomorrow. We're going to tag it onto SOCA so that you all can find it easily, and please take part.
And don't forget to like,
follow,
share.
All right, guys.
SOCA TV to the world. Bye, and
good
remember
night.
culture. Leah, may your soul rest in peace.
We love you.
And we love you. Thank you very much.